Hey family, I know I just went live, but I thought of something I wanted to say because tomorrow is the 9 year anniversary of my son's father who passed away from an overdose. Overdose awareness is so important. He passed away, I'm assuming from fentanyl. This is when they first started putting it in there. The drugs now, let me know your opinions in the comments, but it feels like the government is doing this on purpose, trying to get rid of the drug addicts. That is my thought. How are they supposed to get back into society when the drugs out there are crazy right now? Literally crazy. I I wouldn't have survived this. Thank God I never had to be homeless because I always worked. Um and I always had good friends that would take me in if I didn't have a place to stay, but I usually did. Um, Men have a harder time with that, you know, but also women have to be careful because somebody will say, "Oh, you can stay with me," but men don't want something for just no reason. They're not going to help you for just no reason. Some people will, but I feel like it's done on purpose. Fentanyl is man-made. It's synthetic. It doesn't make sense how they're not, like, they have a cure for autism and they're not using it. I don't know if anybody knows that my son had autism, right? I read, now this is when he was going through a very bad period, and I was looking for anything to help him. Well, I found out that a doctor had an autistic child. He was 95% about to have the cure for it, and they found him dead in the lake, shot twice in the chest, and they said it was suicide. And then another doctor, the same thing. They don't want to cure this. They don't want to cure anything. They want to keep giving pills. They want to keep just medicating. And it's so sad. It's really so sad. Like my son, they, a psychiatrist wouldn't see him because they said he was nonverbal, which he still needs to see. He found his father deceased. Uh, I don't understand how they could say it was just because he's going through puberty. That's why he's acting out. Because he never acted out. He would have meltdowns about 11 months after his father passed, and I believe that was from PTSD because he saw his father getting paddles on his chest, they're trying to revive him. I don't know what he saw when he was alone with his dad, but in my opinion, they're doing this on purpose. Oh wow, my phone's got 10%. But I know, I mean, there's a lot of, and homelessness too. That's my two big issues is homelessness and, well, mental health definitely. Because everybody like Generation X, my generation, we didn't have that. Like, you didn't talk about your feelings at all. If something happened, you kept it inside. Therapy was considered a joke. You didn't do that. If you weren't rich, you couldn't get it. You know, so I have like basically, well, 7 is when my trauma started. So, the parents need to be aware. They really need to be aware. I don't blame my parents anymore for not getting me help because I masked it so well. I went to school, I had friends, I had a job, um, but I had panic attacks all the time. And that's why I self medicated. And they were having problems with my brother not going to school. He was getting bullied. So they were helping him. And they just thought I was fine, because I was going to school, all that. I moved to Arizona at 18, which was to get away my mother. Um, she, when I was 13, she lost her father. or no, not her father, her brother committed suicide. Then she lost her brother or her dad. Then she lost her sister. Then she lost her mom, and then she lost her brother. So she has her three kids, but nobody else. And that's when she started. She pretty much just laid on the couch my whole childhood. Never cooked, never cleaned anything. But I forgive her now because she was dealing with her own trauma. And our parents, like the baby boomers, they definitely did not get therapy and help. They always thought they were fine. So, hurt people hurt people. I'm not saying it's right, but I forgive them. You have to. You have to. And I, put them through a lot. I really did. And I'll go into a video at one point about my father and my mother did something that the doctor had told them to. I'll just say it. Trigger warning, though. This is about. It's not about SA, but I thought it was. So trigger warning. If you don't want to hear anything like that, switch off right now. Okay. Now I've never said this to anyone, but uh, like very close people to me, like my son's father, my husband. Like, I actually did talk to my parents about it, and they don't remember. What happened was, I woke up. I was 7 years old. I remember waking up in my. This is my first. I know. I'm sorry. I was 4 years old. This is my first memory of life. I remember laying in the bed, waking up to my dad and my mom. My pants were down, and my dad was looking. And I said, "What are you doing?" And he said, "Go back to sleep." So I thought my whole life I was molested. I didn't have a good relationship with my father because of that. Turns out the doctor, the pediatrician, he was an old school, like, oh, put whiskey on their gums type of doctor, like that. And he told them that if you suspected your child had worms, to you had to go through the. I don't know if I can say. I guess I can say vagina, right? So they had to go through that. But the thing that upset me was they didn't say anything. I guess they thought that 4 years old I wasn't going to like remember that or like, but it really played a big part in my whole life because I thought I was sexually abused by my father, who did not do that. He was, now that I look back, he was a good father. You know, he made mistakes like every parent. I was their first child. They had issues with both my brothers, so yeah. So that was pretty messed up. And I had told my brother about it one time, hoping, I didn't think he was going to say anything. He said something to my dad, and my dad said, "You really think you were molested?" And I said, "No, no, 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 I must have been high. No, no, that's wrong." And I never, I have told my mom, "Why didn't you say what?" I mean, I guess they couldn't explain it to a 4 year old, but, and I didn't say that it bothered me, and they probably thought I didn't remember it. So I really don't blame them. That doctor's crazy. I guess that is. I have looked it up, and it says that it can come out through there, and that's where you get it. So doctors back in the day were different. So that's a big secret that I have only told to a couple people, and now the 200 and some people on my channel and whoever else sees this are gonna know. And if I mean, it's very like specific thing that happened, so I don't know if anybody else went through that. But if I mean, I feel so alone in that because I really feel like nobody else went through that. So if you have and you want to message me and you want to talk, like that would be great. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go. I'm having a little reaction to saying that it's a panic attack. I, Ooh, I can't believe I said that, but they say letting go of your trauma, even if it helps person, one person, that's going through something, you know, because that affects my whole life. Like, I feel like that's the reason I use drugs. Like, me and my father didn't have a good relationship because of that when he was a good dad, and I just couldn't be around him because that's what I thought he did when he was a good father, actually. And I don't want to bring that up because I don't know, maybe, I don't know, he's 76, but maybe one day I'll bring it up to him. Okay, guys, I love you. Sorry about the pacing. I don't know if I should have shared that yet. Okay, you don't want to hear me crying. All right, I love you guys so much, and you have a great night. All right. Mwah.